Hey there, Sagittarius, Sun, Sagittarius, Moon, Sagittarius, Rising. Welcome to your reading for this week. We are coming off of that new moon eclipse in Aries, which trined your sign, and we're heading toward a full moon eclipse in Scorpio. We do have Mercury in retrograde. The last readings that I recorded were I recorded a lot of readings right in that energy of that eclipse, and they were very intense. So I asked Spirit if we could do a simplified message this week, so I can kind of catch my breath, so to speak. I kind of like have an energetic hangover, but wow. So let's see what we've got going on. So if you're feeling that way too, put it in the comment section. I want to know how you manage that energy, because it was pretty strong and intense, and it was definitely trining your sign with right there at that galactic center. I'm feeling like you guys must have gotten a big blast. So overall energy here, we have the card of taking action. We have the energy of the man. We're going to see what are the next steps to take. You are undergoing a major transformation, because the key to the situation is the card of the snake. And the snake is, the fairy is, actually it says soothing. It's soothing it. Usually I look at that as it's helping them to transform. Oh, okay. All right. So when the South Node was in your sign, about what? It exited your sign about a year and a half ago. And then for the past year and a half, well, it's been, so that was with the shedding of the skin. As you know, we're going to use the snake here. Shedding of the skin. And then while I was in Taurus, it was the healing. And the key here is the healing that's been going on from this transition. And now you're moving into, it's time to start taking some action. This is really very cool energy you have going on here. I really like it. Okay, so your message. Oh, good. I was really wanting to go with, a lot of clarity, kind of simplify these messages so that you can't miss it. You are being asked to consider, wow, lots of advice coming through here from the Mary Magdalene deck. You are being asked to consider how you've transformed, what has been healed, and how do you view this as a strength, like this process that you've gone through, because it is allowing you to see things from a higher vantage point, that is allowing you to see the next steps with a lot more clarity, because the action to take here is we have the Tower. Now this is a Lenormand deck, and in the Tower in Lenormand is about protection. It is about a higher vantage point. It is about sometimes it's about an entity but this is just a tower standing there. There's not a big structure or wall or anything. So this feels like you've been sort of like closeted away during this healing process, much like Rapunzel. You keep showing me Rapunzel, and I feel like, you're going to come down out of this cocoon that you've been in, where you've been doing a lot of healing work. You may not have felt like you were in a cocoon, but you were doing a lot of healing, working through stuff, things that were brought to the surface to be reviewed and looked at and released during the South Node in your sign from about the middle of 2020 to the end of 2021, and then from there, when the North Node started moving again and shifting, and the South Node was sliding into Scorpio, and during this Scorpio phase, you've been doing this healing. And it's getting ready to move into Libra. And so there is almost like a rebirthing process that is happening for you, that I'm almost ready to wake up. I'm almost ready to wake up and get out there, because the energy to anchor it into is the clouds, but the clouds are clearing because you have learned something, you've gained some knowledge, you've gained some information, and it was the search for that information that was what was going on, the deep understanding. Because here we have the card of the letter in what was the obstacle. And so with this book, in the heart space, it was like almost as though you were seeking the information from outside of you, which is never where we get the real answers. They come from within. And so I think there's an understanding that you have now that everything that you really need to know, everything that really, the best advice you're ever going to get is going to come from within, from your higher self. here in the area of what you've been seeking information about is we have the card of the home. So, who's the right partner to, who do you partner up with? Where do you put down your roots? What means home to you? And so there might have been a lot of shifting and moving, and over the past year and a half or so, not really sure where you're grounded and you're rooted. And maybe if you were looking to buy a home, this is finally the opportunity for the contract to come in. And if that is the case, I really want to encourage you to double check all that stuff, because we now have Mercury in retrograde, right? But mostly I feel like it's been about waiting for the information that makes you feel like this is it, this is the right thing. So in the area of resources, you have the card of this friendship card, this loyalty. And so I think that there has been a real opportunity for you to recognize what true abundance is, and where you feel safe and secure, where you feel guided and protected, where you feel like you really belong. I don't see here, we don't have the tree of the ancestral roots. And so I almost feel like it's kind of like transplanting yourself into a new space. And it could be emotionally you're doing this, or physically. It could be within relationship, that the relationship has changed, evolved in some way, and that with this energy of this North Node moving into Aries, it is a big unwinding of the ancestral karmic stories and stuff. Actually, that really kind of felt like it was happening during Scorpio, but now when the South Node was in Scorpio was the real deep ancestral stuff. But now it feels like the stories in this lifetime, the things that we took on this persona that was pushed on us, like you are this and you are that, or you aren't capable of this or that, and you're realizing, no, I have way more power and way more authority in my own personal life and my own decisions, and this realization that Spirit has your back and is working on your behalf to put things in the right space, in the right order, at the right time for you, is really a gift, and it will allow you to continue this transformation and allow you to really allow this to clear. And so taking action and moving towards your dreams. So I really want to get into the Mary Magdalene ones, because there's so many of them here. Oh my God. Okay. So for many of you, it was definitely about maybe finding that right partnership, or you discovering a deeper sense of acceptance of who you are, no matter what you look like, no matter who are you interested in. I feel like this is because we have this card of the sexuality here. Just want to double check that I'm allowed to show this picture. It is a divine masculine and divine feminine energy that is intertwined. It's really hard to show it. So they are intertwined. It feels like your divine masculine and your divine feminine energy, but also you could have during this period connected with someone on this kind of a level where you're able to release into that, because you have the card here of release control. And so this is I feel safe, I feel secure in this relationship, this friendship, this new beginning. Now, I generally don't do love readings, and I'm not really sure that that's what this is. I do think that when we come home to our sacred self, when we come home and we recognize who we are, and we combine within ourselves. We do this because we have the inner child here. We do the healing of the inner child. We get where we no longer need the dictates of those parental authoritative figures. Could have been religion, it could have been a boss, it could have been a parent, somebody that said this is how you must live your life, and you're unshackling from that and allowing yourself the freedom with the North Node being in Aries, the child of the zodiac, with Chiron, the wounded healer, healing these childhood traumas of the inner child. While this is happening, you have the card of earth magic, which means you could totally manifest your dreams and goals into abundance by recognizing that that your own sacred self of your divine masculine, your divine feminine, your ability to give and receive in balance, and when you give of yourself, you're not giving yourself away, and when you are receiving, you're receiving freely, not because you're demanding and controlling that someone gives you something in a certain way, either their adoration, their money, their loyalty, whatever it is. This is this free flowing. It's your inflow with the energy of the universe. Everything is flowing as it should, and so there is this healing that's been going on. And the more that you allow this process to continue, you can start to manifest whatever your big goal or dream is in the actual 3D. And it looks like money, honestly. So whatever this is, this creative process within you, when we awaken the Kundalini energy within us, and it really starts working its way up through that sacral chakra, where that is the seed of creativity, and it could come out in the form of a child, absolutely, but it could come out in the form of a creative business idea. It could come out in the form of you just wanting to create art, whatever that means to you. So it could be gardening, it could be the way you decorate your home, it could be actually doing artistic work, or getting your hand to show me somebody like at a potter's wheel. It is really, but they're saying whatever it is that you create. So whatever it is you create, whatever it is, this is that energy of, okay, now they're showing me, oh my God, this is so fun. Okay, so remember, if you ever saw the movie Ghost, and she was at the potter's wheel, and his energy was wrapped around her, and together they were creating something. It is that energy, but that energy could be you and another person, or it could be you combining your divine masculine and feminine energies together to create something that is of value to you moving forward. Really beautiful. And Venus is going to be doing her retrograde in Leo, June 1st or 6th, I think, to October 10th, somewhere in there. And so that energy trines yours, and she is about what is of value, emotionally, how you see yourself, self-confidence, self-worth, self-esteem, but she's also about relationships, and she's also about finance. And here you have the magic money miracles. Allow the universe to bring the miracles of money and cash to help you along your path. Now, this may or may not mean a lot, although you have a blossoming abundance, but it is more than enough. Right? It is more than enough to do whatever it is that you want to create, because you are going to be creating from this balanced, alchemized energy of the divine masculine and the divine feminine. But they're asking you to explore your life as the inner child, to free yourself from your own set of what you think is limiting you, that's been placed in, that was like stamped in to your inner child during those first, 7, 8 years of your life that are they're imprinted. There's the word I'm looking for, where it really imprints you. And so the freedom to discover who you really are. And this earth magic is, it's about grounding it. So what is grounding? Grounding in this case is to actually take action toward your dreams and your goals. What is it that you want to manifest and create? What do you want to do? Because you have the card of blossoming abundance. This is a fabulous reading. This is definitely, the energy is shifting into the next stage as the North Node and the South Node change signs. And so at this point, that South Node is now 2 signs away from you. And it's going to continue to move. And while it does that, the North Node will continue to move toward you. And so it's a process to get around the wheel again. It's a beautiful reading. All right, Sagittarius, I'd love to know if you would tell me. I would love to know what it is that's transforming your life. What is this thing that you're trying to create and manifest? Because when you share that out, you help to inspire the other Sagittariuses that watch this. And if you would be willing to help them and inform them, and that would in turn allow them to maybe feel inspired and encouraged enough to go after their dreams. And so let's support each other in this journey. So thank you for hitting the thumbs up. Thank you for explaining where you are and where you're going and helping to inspire the other Sagittarius out there that may be needing a little extra boost at this time. All right, thank you so much. You guys have a great week. I am on Facebook every day. I do the astrology, and the next week we're back to doing eclipse video. So it'll be intense again. All right, take care. Talk to you soon.